Chris, how disappointed are you with that?
Incredibly so. As much as the first game, the third game and the fourth game. So we're beating ourselves at the moment. In terms of the first game, you have to take something out of it. We have to take something from the Southampton game, and we most certainly, of all the games, we have to take something from today's game. You know, typical championship game. You know, the process that we all go into in terms of setting the team up, reminding them of sort of how we want to play in the positions that we want to get into, and reminding them of the threats the opposition pose. You know, we dealt with majority of those threats. You know, Giles off the left, who's been instrumental in a lot of the goals. Apart from a slipper late on and where he got in behind us and he didn't find that quality, he was very quiet. On top of Lunny, obviously Lunny went off, and dealing with Ollie Mack. The one time that they found a little bit of quality in the cross, we've not dealt with it, and we knew statistically they're top for goals scored on crosses, and the work that we've done in the week, we've not replicated that today, stopping the cross and defending inside the goal, and allowed them to get their noses in front, and the positions that we've got to get ourselves into, which we have done, and we've not found that final bit. And that is the thing, you know, we get into these positions, and that is the game changer. That's the game changer, and it's loose, it's rushed, and there's no sign of the obvious quality that these players have got in their ability to change the direction of the game. You know, first 20-25 minutes we were pretty comfortable, got a foothold in the game and dominated the game. Hit the post, should score from City. Got into some great positions, but the final bit changes the direction, of course, and the attitude of the game. And then we're chasing the game. They really didn't do anything. They sat in and tried to hit us on the counter, but never really thought we were in danger. We probed, we got into those positions, and couldn't find the final bit. I thought the introduction of Tom and Danny showed the reason why that they played at the highest level. I'd love to have started Tom today, but he physically couldn't do it. But you just saw the composure and the calmness and the quality that he possesses. And Danny Ings comes on and he makes one run straight away and gets a penalty that we have to score from, and obviously we missed the penalty. So, you know, that's the reason that those boys have played at the highest level. That's the reason I'm telling our boys it's a great example. And you know, you have to step up in these moments when you're in the position that we are, and it's tough. And yeah, we know that we're playing catch up. You know, we know ideally it's not a great situation. We're sticking a lot of these players and trying to turn around the mentality, the physicality, the way we play, the way we're going about it, and we're playing catch up. That's not an excuse. That's fact. But when we get into these positions, good positions, and we're controlling games like we have done today, the final bit is the money ball, and we're not finding that.
Does that suggest mental weakness, but a thought process that's just too hurried for them right now?
Yeah, but they've got to take themselves out of that. You know, that's the reason that they're at this football club. It's a fabulous football club. It's a great football club, but that's the reason that they're here. Through me or they're wearing that shirt, is that you have to handle those situations, and that's what sort of separates teams and players, and we've got those players, and this is the pressure that we're all under, and the pressure that sort of everybody at the club's under, whether they're supporters or whether they're me, and most importantly the players. But nobody's sort of, you know, absolutely piling it on them. You know, we're trying to make the shirt light, we're trying to lift them, but we have to find those moments, because I don't know, you see it. I'm not a stats man. The biggest stat is if you win a game of football or not. You know, I want us to play well. You know, I suppose if you dissect the game and you take the scoreline out of it, you possibly say that, you know, Sheffield United maybe with the dominant side in the game, like we were for the second half. Like, went toe to toe with Southampton, did it with a dominant team. But the game is decided by, coin finding that moment of quality, and we've had a dozen of those moments, and we don't find them. So that's what divides good players from average players, and that's what divides average teams to good teams, and that basically is what decides results as well.
There are a few going away, but not many, I suppose. How big an international break is this to try and address some of the issues you've just highlighted there?
Well, we're working. I mean, I don't find any other, players have got to clear their heads somehow. But these are when the proper players come to the fore. And I'm sure Tom Davies will come to the fore because of what he's done in the past and what he'll do for us, and so will Danny, what he's done in the past, and that's why they've had proper careers. So a great example to those boys. How do we find the answer? It's just working on the training ground. People will talk about, we got into some incredible good positions today, some great positions. We're not bashing it. We're working our way through. However we play, we get into these positions. But they're the money ball positions that you want to get into, and you have to deliver. So going back to your question, how do you find a solution to it? It's just our work on the training ground and repetition and reminders that these players have been good players in the past, and I suppose from their point of view, personal point of view, they got to find an answer as well.
Siddy Peck left the field. He looked as though he was a bit injured. What's happened there?
Yeah, Siddy got a whack first half, that was injury related as well. So he went down. I wanted to get Tom on the pitch. I thought Alex gave us a bit of balance in there from when we're chasing. We needed somebody to recover the ball as well, which he has got that ability to. So that was the reason from Siddy's point of view.